People of the world. It's draft day. Well, I think it's safe to say every guy in America and everywhere else in the world, therefore, could probably use a haircut right now, including myself. Yeah, it's bad. It's longer than it's been in a while. It's been 3 months. Yikes. But it's draft night, so none of that really matters, I guess. Anyway, so basically it is the morning of draft nights, around 10:15. I have work in the afternoon until 7, so I will be able to get ready real quick and then see the draft. So the first round of the draft's tonight. A couple more rounds are tomorrow night, Friday night tomorrow. As you guys know, this is like the first ever virtual draft. Corona. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how they're gonna really do it, but a draft's a draft, right? I mean, since it's the first round tonight, I'm gonna be doing in the first round and then just a couple picks the next night, Friday night. But since this is the first round, it's a big round. There's a lot of wide receivers. This is a historic draft. You're welcome. I will see you guys then.
It's now my honor to announce that the first ever virtual NFL draft is officially open. The Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. With the first pick in the 2020 draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Joe Burrow, quarterback, LSU.
And there you see Joe with mom and dad, and you have to wonder what's going through his mind.
Alright, so the Bengals selected Joey Burrow, quarterback out of LSU. I like the pick personally. Bengals need a quarterback. I think they got their franchise quarterback now. I like Joe Burrow. I think he's a really good quarterback, and I think he will be for a long time. So congrats to the Bengals.
With the second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Chase Young, defensive end, Ohio State. Congratulations, Chase.
So there you see Chase, a very, very happy young man.
Alright, so with the second pick in the draft, the Redskins selected defensive end Chase Young from Ohio State. Congrats to the Redskins, even though they're rivals in our division. It's a good pick for the Redskins. I mean, he's a great player. Redskins badly needed a defensive end, so they got their guy.
With the third pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jeff Okudah, defensive back, Ohio State.
And there you see the reaction in Grand Prairie, Texas, where Jeff Okudah is from. The cornerback goes up the board. Here's what's really interesting. The top.
Okay, so with the third pick in the draft, the Lions selected Jeff Okudah, a cornerback out of Ohio State. Probably one of the, if not the best defensive backs in the entire draft. The Lions needed help with cornerbacks, losing Darius Slay to the Eagles, obviously. They got a good guy. They got a good young guy, and hopefully it pans out for them.
With the fourth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Andrew Thomas, tackle, Georgia.
Not a surprise that it's an offensive lineman, but perhaps somewhat of a surprise that it's this offensive lineman, Andrew Thomas.
Alright, so with the fourth pick in the draft, the New York Giants selected offensive tackle Andrew Thomas from Georgia. Kind of a questionable pick, not because it's an offensive tackle. I think that's a good choice. The offensive tackle that they picked, I don't know if that was the best pick for the Giants. Another questionable pick. I probably would have gone with a more highly recruited offensive tackle. It's an offensive tackle nonetheless.
With the fifth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Alabama.
Well, there it is, which means for the first time since Kellen Moore, who is now the Cowboys offensive coordinator, threw a pass, we're going to have a left-hander who's going to...
All right, so with the fifth pick in the draft, the Miami Dolphins selected Quarterback from Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa. He's a Hawaii native. He's a really good quarterback. He's a left-handed quarterback. They haven't had a franchise quarterback in some time now. I wish the Dolphins the best, even though they beat my Eagles in a devastating defeat this past season.
With the sixth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Justin Herbert, quarterback, Oregon.
And there you see the reaction in Eugene. One thing you won't have to worry about when you're talking about Justin Herbert, his ability to understand the playbook. He carried a GPA of over 4 while earning a general science degree with a focus in biology. I think picking up...
Alright, so with the sixth pick in the draft, the Los Angeles Chargers selected quarterback Justin Herbert from Oregon. I think that was a very smart pick considering they lost Phillip Rivers to free agency. The guy's wicked smart, over 4.0 GPA. He's able to read blitzes. Really, really good quarterback in college, obviously. But yeah, I think he's going to be really good for the Chargers, and I think they got their guy.
With the seventh pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Derek Brown, defensive tackle, Auburn.
Well, there you see Derek Brown. His teammates called him Baby Barack. One of his teammates, Marlon Davidson, referred to him as Channel...
So with the seventh pick in the NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers selected defensive tackle Derek Brown. He is from Auburn. The Panthers, they like to draft defense. And hopefully he does good.
With the eighth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Isaiah Simmons, linebacker, Clemson.
Well, it is hard to fault anybody picking Isaiah Simmons. If you just listen to Dabo Swinney, his college head coach, he said he's just a beautiful football.
All right, so with the eighth pick in the draft, the Arizona Cardinals selected linebacker Isaiah Simmons. By far, in my opinion, the best linebacker in the whole entire draft. I hope that works out for them. He's an outstanding player, so.
There are many first-evers that are part of this draft, including the first-ever official draft selection by the Las Vegas Raiders. With the 12th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Henry Ruggs, wide receiver, Alabama. Congratulations, Raiders. Congratulations, Henry.
Well, there you see Henry Ruggs. Daniel, you nailed the position, but not the player. Henry Ruggs is a fascinating football.
Okay, so with the 12th pick in the draft, the Las Vegas Raiders, first time ever selecting as the Las Vegas Raiders, they selected wide receiver Henry Ruggs III. I thought they were going to pick CeeDee Lamb. It's good for the Eagles because I still want them to grab CeeDee Lamb, but it's getting close now. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. We're scheduled to pick at 21st. The 21st pick we're scheduled to pick at, but I don't know. We'll see how he does if he moves up in this draft.
We're now at a pick right now where the 49ers are going to trade. They're going to trade with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady's Bucs are moving up one slot to come up in this draft. There's still a tackle on the board to get Tom Brady more protection. That would be a logical pick for Tampa Bay to make with Tampa Bay coming up to get that pick, and that's the trade. Tampa to 13.
All right, so we finally have a trade. We hadn't had a trade yet. I mean, it's like the 12th, 13th pick in now. 49ers and the Buccaneers, basically just like swap places. Buccaneers are picking 13th. Niners are now picking 14th.
The San Francisco 49ers have traded the 13th pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With the 13th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Tristan Wirfs, tackle, Iowa.
Well, now we're seeing this run on offensive linemen, and as you see Tristan Wirfs there getting the phone call right there and a little bit of thumbs up. Another freakish athlete. He's 6 322 pounds. Ran a 4.8.
Alright, so with the 13th pick in this draft, Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected offensive tackle, as we thought. Also, offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs. He's a freak of nature. He's the real deal, I'll tell you that much. So he's gonna protect Tom Brady. He ran like a 4.85 for an offensive tackle. That's like unheard of. Yeah, that was the right move for the Buccaneers because, Tom Brady's one, bad hit away from, not being able to play anymore. So, at his age especially, you should be protecting him. He's in his 40s, and yeah, smart move by the Buccaneers.
With the 14th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Davion Taylor, defensive tackle, South Carolina.
Well, perhaps another surprise, but Davion Taylor is one hell of a football player. His story is also amazing. But what you need...
Alright, so I'm kind of in complete shock right now. With the 14th pick in the draft, the Niners picked Davion Taylor, a defensive tackle. I was almost positive that they were going to go for either Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb, two of the best receivers in recent memory in NFL drafts. So, I've never heard of Davion Taylor. If you want my honest opinion, I think a lot of general managers, especially in the NFL nowadays, try to be too, clever. They try to, outsmart themselves by picking some, obscure pick. That was the wrong move. I know they like to be defensive oriented. They have a great defense, obviously. But they needed a receiver, too. To support Jimmy G,
With the 15th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver, Alabama. Congratulations, Jerry. Come on, Broncos.
And there you see Jerry Jeudy and family waiting to hear the official.
Okay, so with the 15th pick in the draft, the Denver Broncos, they got the best wide receiver in the draft, Jerry Jeudy out of Alabama. CeeDee Lamb is the second best receiver in the draft. I think it's a close comparison between the two. Don't know what the Eagles are doing. I think they should be trading up right now. Congratulations to Jerry Jeudy.
With the 17th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver, Oklahoma.
Well, Dak Prescott just got another weapon to throw to, and CeeDee Lamb is a weapon in every shape of the word.
So with the 17th pick in the NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys selected wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. That was a really good pick. It's so frustrating as an Eagles fan, considering how badly we need a wide receiver. And you don't trade up to get a guy like CeeDee Lamb. Makes no sense. I don't know what they're thinking. Very disappointed at the moment.
As you may know, we are scheduled to host a draft in Vegas this year. And we thank so many for the effort they put forth to prepare that possibility. And we think you deserve another shot. So we're happy here to announce that tonight, the Las Vegas Raiders will host the 2020 NFL Draft. Congratulations to Mark Davis, the Raiders organization, and Raiders Nation. We look forward to being there in Las Vegas, and congratulations.
Sitting there with 22, you thought they might go wide receiver. We've seen some wide receivers go off the board as you look at Doug Peterson, the head coach, and Howie Roseman, the executive VP and GM. But here's why they need wide receivers in what is a very deep wide receiver draft. The last 4 games of 2019, these are the wide receivers that they were throwing to, including a former running back in Greg Ward. They used to pick on J.J. Arcega-Whiteside a year ago. That really didn't work out. They had all kinds of injuries. So, Lewis, as you look at the Eagles and the lack of depth on their wide receiver depth chart, it certainly seems like this would be a need that they need to fill.
With the 21st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Hertz, wide receiver, TCU.
Well, this is a player and a name, guys, who has been rising up a lot of draft boards since the end of the season. And you're thinking, Rager, that name sounds familiar. You are 100% correct. His father, Monte Rager, was a defensive end who played 9 years in the NFL, including...
With the 22nd pick in the 2020 draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Justin Jefferson, wide receiver, LSU.
Well, here's where you're about to find out that sometimes drafting is kind of like high school recruiting. It's not an exact science. Justin, we apologize. ESPN gave you no stars coming out of high school, and you were listed as the number 308 receiver.
Okay, so with the 21st pick in the draft, the Eagles, my team, diehard Philly fan that I am, we selected a wide receiver. His name's Jalen Hertz. Widely talked about, he's an explosive player. He can be a home run guy. He's more versatile, maybe, than Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings picked him with the very next pick at number 22. The Minnesota Vikings selected Justin Jefferson. Would I have flip-flopped the picks? Possibly. But, you know, I mean, if you're talking about Greg Ward being in the slot and, you know, having Rieger more of an outside guy for explosive playability, then I guess I could see that. You're kind of going for a home run guy, trying to find like a Deshaun Jackson type player. It's a good pick. I'm not crazy about it. It remains to be seen. You really only will know when they start playing. Right now, it's all just speculation. I like the pick.
With the 33rd pick in the 2020 draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select T. Higgins, wide receiver, Clemson.
Somewhere Zach Taylor was listening to Michael Irvin. Give this man more weapons. Here's what you need to know about T. Higgins in his 3-year career at Clemson. 27.
Alright, so with the 33rd pick in the draft, the Cincinnati Bengals selected wide receiver T. Higgins out of Clemson. I really like this pick for the Bengals. It gives Joe Burrow a really good wide receiver, and it was the right thing to do with T. Higgins sitting there. Since this is such a deep wide receiver class, and there's still a good amount of wide receivers that are left on the board, so we shall see what happens.
With the 34th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Michael Pittman, wide receiver, USC.
Well, just like the first round, we're going to see a lot of wideouts go up the board. And here's what you need to know, Michael Pittman, the name sounds...
All right, so with the 34th pick in the NFL Draft this year, the Indianapolis Colts selected wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. I really like this pick again. The Colts needed wide receivers, as do a lot of teams, including my team in the Eagles. So I wish Michael Pittman the best. Rooting for Frank Reich, the head coach of the Colts, former offensive coordinator, obviously, for my Birds.
With the 35th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select DeAndre Swift, running back, Georgia.
Okay, this is an interesting pick here because DeAndre Swift is a guy who can...
All right, so with the 35th pick in the draft, the Detroit Lions selected running back DeAndre Swift from Georgia. And, you know, I think this is a good pick for the Lions. They needed running back help as well. They really haven't had a definitive running back in a while now. So I like the move. I think, you know, they're building their weapons, and wish the best of luck to DeAndre Swift.
With the 36th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Xavier McKinney, defensive back, Alabama.
All right, so the X-Man is off the board, which means it's time for another tattoo for Xavier McKinney. He has been doing that since...
Okay, so with the 36th pick in this draft, the New York Giants selected Xavier McKinney. He's a safety. I like the pick for the Giants. Again, this draft is so deep that there's so many players that it's almost impossible to not be at least somewhat happy with almost every one of these picks. Giants, yeah, that's one of their many needs. Defensive back help and safety help, that's a good pick. Xavier McKinney's a really talented safety, and I think they got a good guy.
With the 37th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Kyle Duggar, defensive back, Lenore Ryan.
Lenore Ryan, stand up. Kyle Duggar is off the board. It's the first time an NFL team has selected a division.
Okay, so with the 37th pick in this draft, the New England Patriots selected a safety, not a quarterback. They selected safety Kyle Duggar. This is a questionable pick. Not really a very popular college football player. But, knowing Bill Belichick and the Patriots organization, they groom their players and they can become really good for them. So, remains to be seen. But right now, I grade it as I see it.
With the 38th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Yetur Gross-Matos, defensive end, Penn State.
All right, Yetur Gross-Matos led the team at Penn State with 9.5 sacks and 15 tackles for a long.
Okay, so with the 38th pick in the draft, the Carolina Panthers went defense. Once again, they love their defense. They selected defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos from Penn State, so he's a local around here. I like the pick a lot. He's a great defensive player, and I think he will benefit well being in the Panthers organization because they value defense so much. So, congratulations to Yetur.
Now, with the 43rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Cole Kmet, tight end, Notre Dame.
Well, the tight ends are going to be coming off the board.
Okay, so with the 43rd pick in the draft, the Chicago Bears selected tight end Cole Kmet. Bears, yeah, they could use a tight end after losing Trey Burton. Obviously, they're kind of trying to fill his shoes. They still have several more holes they could fill, but for right now, I like the pick.
With the 53rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Hertz, quarterback, Oklahoma.
Well, it just got interesting, ladies and gentlemen, as Jalen Hertz is going to Doug Peterson and that Philadelphia offense, and there are a million ways.
Okay, so with the 53rd pick in the NFL Draft, my Eagles selected quarterback Jalen Hertz. This has a chance to be the biggest surprise of the entire draft. I wouldn't have dreamt that we would take a quarterback in the second round. I would have to think that this is somewhat reflective on Carson Wentz's injury history. But look, for right now, I think Jalen Hertz will be a solid backup quarterback. Not really sure the plan, what the plan is with him, but my guess is he's going to be a backup quarterback, and they're trying to find someone truly reliable other than Nate Sudfeld to back up Wentz. So, wow. Howie, you always surprise me, I'm telling you.
With the 103rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Davion Taylor, linebacker, Colorado.
Okay, Davion Taylor is fascinating. From Magnolia, Mississippi, he played exactly one.
Okay, so with the 103rd pick in the NFL Draft this year, the Eagles, my team, selected linebacker Davion Taylor. I really like this pick. He has a lot of speed. He gets to the football. He gets to where he needs to be. The speed is what is so important at the linebacker position. If you have enough speed. If you're a linebacker, it's just really going to help you be productive. I really like this pick for the Eagles. If you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post those post notifications to get notified every time I upload. And as always, be sure to follow my Instagram @MattDeAngelisMusic. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.